Hello, Kingsman. Welcome back to the Napoleonic battlefield. Today we have a 4v4, starting off with a bloody cav fight between Russia and France. As you can see, Lancers actually really taking it out of the French, but they are definitely losing here. This is on England 4, which is a very interesting map. Did not realize. Ignore the land, but you see there's actually like a beach. It's like supposed to simulate maybe the white beaches of Dover. I'm not sure. But like I said, this is a 4v4 set by Rasmussen. And it is a lot of French. So if you're a fan of the French, well, this is the battle for you to watch. It has a France-Spain 10-pointer, France Imperial Guard, and France-Spain. Actually, a lot of Spain. I think it's just France-Spain. And Württemberg as well. So 3 France-Spains, 1 Württemberg. No, I can't count. Gosh. So 1 Imperial Guard, 2 France Spains, and 1 Württemberg, taking on the Portuguese, Russians, Spanish, and the Swedish. And, well, this battle is very, actually, besides this hill, which the French are holding, there's pretty open for fighting. I mean, you can see Portugal has taken this LOC. Not a lot of points here. In fact, it is going to be up to the French to make an initiative at this point to take this other 1-pointer, because they only have 1 point way in the back. So you can see definitely that is why the Portuguese and the Swedish and possibly the Russians are all advancing on this LOC. It is just taking so long because the French are taking so long to get up here. Portuguese, though, they are scouting out a little bit. Be interested to see what kind of an army they brought. The French, I mean, it's kind of hard to tell them all apart, but I see some provisional hussars, some dragoons, some lancers. You, of course, have Ledoux, an Imperial Guard, of course, more hussars. I know no other real heavies, probably just the dragoons. I mean, oh yeah, there's some cuirassiers over here. So definitely gonna be a cav fight, and of course, Württemberg is bringing some heavies as well. Portugal is actually a lot of fun to play. Just recently played them. So, and then you got the Imperial Guard, and then the other France faction way in the back. They're just gonna take so long. It would almost be better if they were attacked. If France was attacked by the. Oh, here we go. So Württemberg is going in here, scaring off the Swedish in Portuguese. We're gonna fall back. Sweden actually set up some artillery here, some 6-pounders. But I think the French probably have mass. They could push up here and possibly get some real damage, take out horse artillery, take out some heavies. Of course, Sweden is going to have some. There's a lot of heavies on the coalition side. Spain actually is pushing over on the right here, it would appear. Keep fast forwarding here. This battle is going to be a slow beginning, to be sure. So get a drink. Make sure you have a drink, if you need to pause this, or just wait for the fast forwarding. I don't want to miss anything. And I want you to be able to see how they're deploying, but at the same time, I don't want to sit here just rambling on and on as it takes, minutes and minutes and minutes. Oh, General is under attack. Space Salt is being fired at here. Now, Ledoux would be an amazing target for the artillery to go for, but you can see they definitely are using their artillery dominance at this point in time. We do have artillery, these 12-pounders, returning fire on the coalition. Just a lot of scouting, which is very realistic to this battle here, or to any NTW3 battle. It always starts. Why are these guys running? That is so far to be running. You don't want to run from here. I mean, I don't know. This is just a target for artillery at this point. But maybe they're trying to get up to that cav, which Russia seems to keep going in and attacking these hussars who now have 26 of 45 men left. Which, I want the action. That's what I want. But it's going to be just a lot of this kind of stuff, I guess, until they form up in battle formation. So probably what I'm going to do is skip ahead until the action starts again. Alright guys, so it looks like Sweden will be the first one to actually push up here with their skirmishers as well as the line infantry here. France does have the Imperial Guard cav and infantry facing off against Sweden, so definitely an equal match. In fact, this may be an advantage for the French. At the same time, we do have, as you can see, one French army pushing up here, one holding the hill for Spain. In fact, it looks like Spain's actually sending some of their line infantry over as well to hit this side, and this may mean Spain is in danger of being outflanked here. Now, Württemberg is holding this little area because of where the Portuguese may be. But definitely a lot of skirms, actually, for Württemberg. The Imperial Guard have not even started fighting yet. I mean, this is crazy how long it's taken for both sides to truly get into a fight. Usually maybe it's because of how far away they deployed. I don't know. That could be it. But we do have artillery in a massive 20-pounders, I believe. That if they leave some space in their army, you know, have it set way back, they can really start doing some damage to the French. I think they already are firing at the hill, so that's gonna be a problem for the French army. But still, no one fighting here. It is taking so long, and I'm trying to be patient, but howitzers look like they're trying to shell and soften up this Swedish line. I'm surprised they're not attacking. Why not attack, you know? Maybe it's because they have Württemberg and they're worried about Württemberg being overextended here. More artillery for Russia. I wouldn't be surprised if these guys go in and try to get Russia to actually volley their own artillery. Oh, this is a little sussy. Poor Cav, I mean, honestly getting fired on by basically peasants. But, oh man, look at this. They're actually sneaking in behind the lines. Where are they going? They're gonna break just because they're around enemies. But they're trying to go for a general, possibly. Yeah, they are. Look at this. Going for Spain's gen. Or going for Duke Torov, who is now engaged with some hussars in the back lines here. Oh man, taking out a general this early in the, like this before the fight's even begun would be awful. Now, be careful you don't kill your general when you charge him, because that can actually have friendly fire here, and he's wavering. Nah, he's okay. Alright, so that was a very close call in this long battle that, honestly, the French have to make a move. They're going to lose LOC. I mean, they could push for this one-pointer and actually win, which is why I'm surprised that there's not more units shifting over, because this is probably the push. The LOC push. Oh, so Voltigeur is going to get charged by some hussars of Spain. I think the Portuguese should have been shifting over here this entire time. This is the force that probably is going to wait until there's little time left and then take the LSC and have LSC victory. So, as their line stretches, although they need to take this LSC, they need to take it from the Portuguese, and then they will be set for this. Man, this is a massive LOC line of communications. It goes from here to here to here. An unbroken line needed. I'm gonna have to do so much editing just because of how long it's taking. This is why sometimes it's fun to just have a death match. But at the same time, then whoever has the hill is just gonna camp on top of it, you know. So I don't know. You can tell me what you think about the LOCs. They may actually work. Now we do have Spain pushing up. Possibly going to be getting off the first of volleys. Or not. This is such a huge line that France has. And Portuguese actually are going for this one-pointer. So this is going to definitely make it to where either they're going to have to shift over and take this one, or or they're going to have to push the center, which actually may not be a bad idea. Ignore this one and push for this one and this one. The Imperial Guard's going to have to fight out the Portuguese, who are actually charging against some Lancers of the Imperial Guard. Winning thus far. But they're getting charged by more Portuguese. Württemberg is going to come and support this fight. I think that the French have the... Oh my goodness. Not with the Swedish firing, but I think the Portuguese are going to lose this fight. They do have some infantry that is getting charged here. And that could be their only chance. Okay, well, now if you get FIM'd. Show you the power of the FIM is what that unit said. So they should be able to push forward and take this LOC. France Imperial Guard is going to shift over as the Swedish are shifting over to kind of mirror that. We do have France pushing up here. And for those of you who do not know, FIM, and I'm in a joking way talking about it, but I mean, it is an exploit. What it is basically firing in melee, which is pretty broken because you get basically 100% accuracy because you're sitting right with them. And it'll break the morale of the enemy so fast. It's an exploit of the game, and that may have been unintentional because sometimes they just do it, especially the Imperial side. If you charge them, sometimes if they're not told to go into melee, they'll just sit there and shoot them point blank. But you can also do it purposefully. So like I said, I don't know the context. That could be they were elsewhere multitasking. I've accidentally done it before, so no biggie. But you can see the Imperial Guard is shifting over here. I'm assuming that Sweden and Portugal, maybe Portugal could sit here and let Sweden just try to hold, and they could punch in where Württemberg is weakest, right here. Look at this. This is like the perfect attack. You get all your infantry right here and mass forward, lunge forward. You could do a lot of damage. Now we do have Spain falling back, actually. I think they're beginning to realize the possibility of losing the LOC here. We do have some cav of Russia charging against the Chasseurs Cheval with some of their Ulani. Definitely going to break those Hussars. They were caught and will break. So France is continually moving towards this house. I think they got it. They just have a bunch of cav to deal with, which they don't have tons of squareables, but they do have some squareables. So I'm not too worried about it. They have cav support as well. Spain may actually get charged by a bunch of cavalry, as there's some cuirassiers, dragoons, hussars, and lancers. And they did take the LOC, so now they have 2 points almost. But the Imperial Guard is engaging Sweden. Sweden, not liking it, is going to start falling back here. And Imperial Guard can do very well, I think, against Swedish if they don't stand and fight. They need to get their artillery involved, but here is Portugal, and they are going for what they would probably think is a very easy target. Now, it may be that they are ignoring this, and that may be a problem that's going to sweep around and hit them in the flank at some point in the future. Huge cav fight over here as well. Looks like like I was predicting, France is going to charge it against these Spanish troops that can and cannot form square, and to start breaking them one at a time here. But Spain has reformed. I don't think they've extended themselves back enough. What is happening here? I don't know if they're even paying attention. I don't know if they're even paying attention. I think Russia's busy elsewhere, and they're going to lose their Lancers in that flank. We have more Spanish going to get charged here by some Hussars. Probably. They're forming square. And so France is going to get themselves out of there. They're like, yeah, no thank you. Those are big squares. We do have France also pushing on this LOC. Russia maybe was shifting over troops, as you can see, and going for that flank, which is why France reacted, sending some more troops over. The Portuguese need to do something about this artillery. It's going to start killing them off one by one. Now, they do have mass. They do have numbers. And that's going to help them out in a huge way. We do have the Swedish getting engaged at super close range. Oh, these guys are going to break so fast. This is like land work. Militia, and it's wavering already. Sweden. Ooh, look at this. Sweden being engaged in the back by heavies of both Württemberg and France here. Now, there's a general expiring his men, but at the same time, he's causing a mass rout not having him in this fight. I don't know why they formed square. But Sweden's starting to lose over here, and that is bad. That is terrible news here. This may be a very open and shut battle. Portuguese are being held back by Württemberg, and Spain and Russia are just getting, it would appear, getting totally surrounded by the French. There's some infantry in here. If Spain was paying attention, they could charge these guys in the back and get a huge debuff on these French troops, and they would not be able to be effective in a charge. Spain may take some losses, but I don't think it's gonna... Or France may take some losses here. I think they can win against Spain. Russia's engaging on the flank of France. And Russia's also trying to hold over here. They have their artillery set up. Württemberg is actually starting to take some losses. You can see the artillery is wavering. They've probably taken a lot of losses against musket fire. But Sweden is halfway gone. So they are halfway to the danger zone. And you see Ledoux actually charging in here. Their men are exhausted. Just form one square. Nah. We're going to have Imperial Guard keep pushing. They're going to try to encircle. They've barely taken any losses here. So this is not looking good. Now Württemberg is in a concerning way here. Russia pushing up to help on that front. But, I mean, Portugal is getting their butt pounded. For lack of a better term, by this artillery. I mean, this poor line infantry is just getting destroyed. What do we have going on here? Spain has gone in for a cav charge here on several fronts of France, and they're not letting them win this easy. And actually, you can see that Spain is doing pretty well against the French. Over here, not so hot. Russia is getting bayonet or cav charge. They just sent some dragoons to stop the dragoons of France. More infantry, I'm assuming, are breaking. Yeah, Spain is just pouring over this side, which is why these cav of France-Spain are going to push over, try to back up this fight. I mean, there's more Spanish cav pushing forward here, though. Oh my goodness, France is breaking. Spain is just holding very well here. So while on this other side, Sweden is basically getting swept away, at the same time, France is having some huge setbacks. Now, they are definitely starting to shoot away the Spanish infantry, who are not double stacked, by the way. But the morale's not going to hold, but they're holding, and Spain actually is pushing over in... Well, France did manage to break the Spanish on that side, but here comes Russian and Spanish, more Spanish and Russian cav. Just wave after wave, and these guys are winded, but they're going to charge in once more. Possibly. Maybe not. I'm just going back and forth along this battlefield, to be honest. We do have Russia going in for a bayonet charge. No, they're getting charged by the dragoons of Württemberg. And actually seem to work really well here. Broke one, caused some more morale issues, and actually Portugal, after Württemberg fell back, they are falling back as well. I think they're going for the LOC, trying to maybe, I don't know what. I don't know what's going on here. This kind of looks like an AI. I think Sweden may have dropped. They're not gonna lie, this is the second battle that I've had where someone dropped, but I can't really just... I can't redo this battle. I'm not gonna have a video tomorrow. Yeah. So we do have Spain holding us actually a lot better than I honestly thought they would, as they're getting pushed by two French factions. They do have Russia thankfully supporting them, but Russia's probably not going to hold the greatest. And keep in mind there's 21 minutes left in this replay. 1 LOC for the coalition to 2 of the French Imperial side. So I would say this is definitely can be, even if it's not a land, like a decisive land fight victory, decisive battle, I guess, it would be a decisive LOC victory. Now we do have these skirms getting charged by the Portuguese, countercharged by Württemberg's, what is this, Jaeger, like basically lights. But the Jaeger infantry, Jaeger Koenig skirmishers are going to break now. So did the Portuguese, but Portugal falling back here. I don't know what their plan is at this point. Sweden is dying to the Imperial Guard here. Maybe they haven't dropped. Maybe they just had some weird formations, but they actually have some units left here. So they just got to take as much out of the Imperial Guard as possible. Over here we do see the Cav charging in against Spain. These cuirassiers just going side by side against, or line by line against the Spanish, who are now shaken. And Spain may actually lose the general if they don't get him out of there. Now, at the same time, Spain is pushing back over and actually really harming the advance on this flank. You see that France keeps having to charge over once again and deal with the Spanish. But Spain is getting hit in the back, and they have no cav to defend their line infantry at this point in time. Now we have, once more, another unit. I mean, they just got able to form a square. This is a problem here. You see Spain's going to start falling back, but they're about to mass around the center, and this battle is probably going to be over here. I mean, it's at 18 minutes remaining. Russian Cav just was too... They were too much on the far flank instead of protecting the army. And that's probably what's going to hurt them in the end. Russia is slowly getting chipped away by that flank. Sweden is gone, and this is becoming a huge disaster for the coalition here. Even Württemberg, which, you know, was pushed back initially by Portugal, is pushing back up and even engaging some of the Russian infantry. We do have one desperate, maybe last cav attack here by the coalition. The howitzers being pretty deadly, though, actually. Taking out some of this cav. That's the best I've ever seen them do. They're probably next going to be going for the artillery of Spain. Or no, this is not even Spain, this is Russian artillery. And very healthy French army still. We do have cavalry charging in here. Russia trying to do their best. Sending their heavies, Spain backing it up. Dragoons are trying to pull out of there. But I think actually Spain may start losing on this side. This may have been a little too much cav for them as they were using their cav to break the Spanish army, which honestly was probably better anyway. But they are gonna lose that cav by. Russia is just getting totally surrounded here. Portugal still doing what they can, trying to deal with skirms with their cav. And the Imperial Guard should just advance on Portugal, who is now sitting back. Honestly, the Portuguese probably are going to have to advance. They can just, once they take all the LOCs, they can just sit on them. What is remaining of Russia is getting totally overwhelmed. France did lose this cav engagement, which is, I guess, a small victory, although looks like some Lancers are actually pushing up here. And attacking what is left of Russia. Cuirassiers against Lancers. Rest of the French army gonna start moving up. And with one LOC secured on each flank, this is probably going to be a desperate, possibly just hold for Portugal here. With their artillery, they're probably just going to do what they can to kill as many of the French as possible. But yeah, probably not the most intense fight you guys would see, so can't always get the best. Well, I mean, I can't watch the replays beforehand, so I won't ever know truly how close or how easy a fight it was. But obviously, there's always lessons to be learned. I think the coalition's mistake was stringing themselves out along a huge front. If they had focused themselves between these two LOCs and held them, maybe stretched out a little bit on this hill just for some, equal hill height. But if they should have defended these two LOCs a little better. They were kind of strung between here and here, and they had to try to shifting over. And Spain just was getting outflanked. In order to truly have a good win, I think they could have made it more difficult for the Imperials to actually take LOCs. And I think Sweden tried too hard maybe to take this LOC. Now it's just going to be the Imperial Guard versus Portugal. And this fight may take a little while. But that's about it. There's only a couple Spanish troops left. So we will watch the death of Portugal as the Imperial Guard is going to go in with their Voltigeurs, their Chasseurs. I mean, they got everything. Very healthy units here. And they will start caving the flank here of France, or not France, but of Portugal. In fact, even with Cav going in, Württemberg is going to do what they can. Russia looks like they're trying to hold this last LOC, but I mean, you don't even have to take it. Let's maybe watch in fast motion. Portugal is going to fall back here. They're getting caved in by Württemberg. Cav in the center, hitting them. I think they maybe are about a mass rout, possibly. As Cav, the Ledoux, charging in, and it's going to turn into a mass rout here. Very quickly here. Ooh. Yeah. Well, guys, Definitely a big win for the Imperials. I would say it wasn't even a Pyrrhic victory. It was just a decisive victory. And lessons learned, you know? Hopefully you can take something out of this and apply it in your next battle. If anything, losing with grace, I guess. I don't know, being a good sport about it. I've lost some games that I wasn't too happy about, but it's just a game. At the end of the day, some people take it very seriously. It's a game I definitely love. But it's just a game. So, well done to all players. I mean, even playing this mod, you know, can't respect anybody that gets onto this mod and plays it. It's a very frustrating mod to play, and a steep learning curve. So, Portugal did what they could. I think that was a wise idea to attack Württemberg, but when Württemberg fell back, I don't know if there was communication between the coalition players. They weren't really seeming to stick too well together. Maybe Russia and Spain. Spain actually did pretty well considering. I've seen Spain do pretty terribly. Of course, context, it's me that does really terribly at Spain. So, yeah, I want to try Spain, but one of these days I'll get brave enough to try it again. Didn't do so hot the last time I tried Spain, I'm not gonna lie. So I'm just gonna skip ahead, guys. This battle's basically over. I think it's 1 or 2 units left on the field, so we'll skip ahead, look at the stats, and that'll be it. Alright, guys. So this was written by Rasmussen. Man. The kills, yeah, it's very obvious. Cav got a lot of kills. Definitely the top players in this battle. The line of infantry didn't even have to do that much work. So, yeah. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I think that is about it for me today. You guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe, and I will catch you all in another video.